Hi, my name is Ben, and I'm one of the co-founders here at Ascend, where we make debt freedom cheaper, easier, and faster. Today, we're going to cover the pros and cons of a Chapter 13 bankruptcy. A Chapter 13 bankruptcy is different than a Chapter 7 bankruptcy in that it is a payment plan bankruptcy, also known as a wage earner's plan. So it generally lasts 3 or 5 years, and you have a monthly payment that is due each month. Let's go through the pros first, and then we'll cover the cons. The first pro is that you can save your home in a Chapter 13 bankruptcy, even if the amount that you have in equity is over the exemption amount. Second, there is ways to deal with the second mortgage in a Chapter 13 bankruptcy that could be beneficial to you. Third, there is a way to deal with certain tax debts in a Chapter 13 bankruptcy that could help produce relief from those tax debts in the Chapter 13. Next, there can be help on car payments in a Chapter 13 bankruptcy. And finally, there may be help with domestic support payments in a Chapter 13 bankruptcy, such as catching up for child support in arrears. Now, there are other pros, but those are the pros that we're going to mention right now, and we also include the link below if you'd like to look at our entire blog post covering Chapter 13 bankruptcy pros and cons. Now, let's cover the cons of the Chapter 13 bankruptcy. First, the con is getting rid of unsecured debts. Now, in a Chapter 7 bankruptcy, you could eliminate those rather quickly. In Chapter 13 bankruptcy, you may be liable to pay back some or full amount to the unsecured creditors. Second, there still is a negative impact on your credit score and your credit report. Chapter 7 bankruptcy lasts on your report for 10 years. A Chapter 13 bankruptcy lasts on your report for 7 years. Third, there are higher attorney fees in a Chapter 13 bankruptcy. It requires more of the attorney's time, and thus there are more fees associated with the Chapter 13 bankruptcy. Fourth, in a Chapter 13 bankruptcy, there is low payment flexibility, whereas in debt settlement, you may be able to have payment flexibility if you can't make a payment that month. It is much more difficult in a Chapter 13 bankruptcy. And finally, one of the bigger cons on Chapter 13 bankruptcy is that it often lasts 3 or 5 years, which makes it much longer than a Chapter 7 bankruptcy where you can see a discharge within 90 days. I hope this video has been helpful to help you understand the Chapter 13 bankruptcy pros and cons. I've added some resources in the link in the description box below that can help you understand the different Chapter 13 pros and cons and also estimate your Chapter 13 plan payment. If you have any questions, please comment below and I'll try to get back to them as quickly as possible. Thanks.